What's up, guys? Welcome to my Throwback Thursday. I'm Curious George, and today I have a guest speaker, the man in the yellow hat, aka Gary. Gary here is a friend of mine from town. Say hey, Gary.
Hey, Gary. See, I'm clever.
Not really.
Ah.
So I'm killing a couple birds with one stone. Let's get started with the game. So this is the first time I got somebody else talking with me here, and
Makes me feel special.
it makes him feel special. Like, he wasn't doing anything anyway.
Nothing with my life. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with my life anymore.
But I was actually talking in one of my earlier Let's Plays about Donkey Kong Country being my favorite NES games. What's your favorite game for the Super Nintendo?
For Super Nintendo, going way back, it's kind of hard. Honestly, I might have to puss out and say it's Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. It's a classic game, really set the tone for the future of the series, which I'm a huge nerdgasm for.
It's hard to argue against that.
It's hard to argue the nerdgasm. You kind of can't help it. Just getting money and bitches and bananas.
Get money.
Just punching Crocs in the face.
I was actually kind of expecting you to say something like Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger. Actually, can I amend that? I mean,
I take that back. Chrono Trigger is my favorite game.
I stick by my prior statement, but Chrono Trigger is a freaking fantastic game. I mean, it really explored the whole multiple endings and stuff. Kind of spoiler there.
Spoilers.
Really, it was a great.
People are watching Let's Plays, like they're not worried.
Yeah, like they don't care. They're probably more like, who's this douchebag talking? But Chrono Trigger really set the tone for a lot of Japanese RPGs. And you fight with a robot that shoots lasers. How do you fuck that up?
Robots and lasers.
Getting
sells games all by itself.
Right? It's like nerd porn. Giant monsters, lasers, magic.
Fucking Diddy Kong.
Frog swordsman and shit. Oh, and then Diddy Kong. Yeah, well. Yeah. Donkey Kong 64 was pretty awesome. You can't
It didn't
argue
get a
with
lot of
Donkey Kong
loving.
Country. Yeah, it didn't. I think the whole shooter aspect kind of got overshadowed by 007 GoldenEye.
Oh, yeah.
Which you can't deny. It's freaking awesome. But bonus for Donkey Kong 64, there is no odd job. Yeah. And there is no caves. How do you argue that? No facility, no caves.
I gotta say, the Donkey Kong Country, like, even though it is my favorite Super Nintendo game, hands down, but I'd have to admit that it's my favorite.
You ain't gonna get that coin like a bitch? Go get that coin. Don't be a bitch.
Oh yeah, there's nothing over here.
Don't be a bitch. Go get that coin.
No, I'm not getting that coin. Fuck you.
Bitch.
I don't need it.
Wuss.
Anyway, Donkey Kong Country, it's one of those games where every time I come back to it, and I still play it regularly, like at least once a year I'll play through it, and it is still exactly how I remember it, and that's just how you can tell that I'm not like all nostalgiaed up in here.
Yeah, it's just
Like,
it's a genuinely good game.
I have gone back and played some games that I remember being completely boss when I was a kid, and I was like, eh.
I mean,
Like Illusions of Gaia. Like, you ever played Illusions of Gaia?
I don't think I did.
It's still a really great game, but I remember it being just completely epic.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me
How
wrong.
did I screw that up?
Yeah, I don't know. You screwed that up. Probably thinking too much. But Donkey Kong Country is not the first platformer, but it did so much of the platforming genre right. I mean, how do you beat a monkey picking up a cannonball with her hair? That's badass.
That's how they got it right.
It's like Rapunzel without, hot wax. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, Gary.
I'm humorous. People laugh. They don't realize I'm just a dick.
I don't even know why.
Can you not?
I don't even know why I keep losing.
Can you do that right?
I think I'm being too hasty.
Maybe. Trying to show off, and it's killing you. We all do it. It happens. It happens.
So I don't even know why I chose Gary as your fucking name to use. As you can tell, that's not his real name.
Maybe. Who knows? We'll never know. We'll never know.
I think it's because, like, isn't your Snapchat account Gary something?
Yeah, it is. It was actually a nickname in high school. All of my bitches called me that.
Oh, your bitches.
By which I mean girlfriends who did not want to have sex with me. But that's just normal. It had nothing to do with the story. Just a little backstory to make it fun.
So we're about 5 minutes into the video, and I'm only on the second level here. I did kind of run through this game a little bit earlier today. Funny aside, I tried filming myself playing Donkey Kong earlier today with the free version of Fraps, and I didn't know that the free version of Fraps only lets you go up to 30 second clips.
Yeah, that's the test out phase.
And then after my 30 seconds ran up, I didn't know that it stopped recording. So I ran through the entire first world and was about to start the second one when I quit out just to check my video. And yeah, I only had 30 seconds. I didn't even get out of the menu yet. I was pretty upset about that. In fact, I don't even like Fraps. Like
Frappuccino?
Sure. But I use D3 gear for anybody who's interested. Like, I think that's just superior in almost every way to Fraps. But for some reason that I can't explain, I don't know why, but these emulators don't work with D3 gear. And I tried looking it up, and I YouTubed it like 1,000 times, seeing if there was a tutorial. No, I don't think anybody has ever tried doing emulators with D3 gear.
No, I'm sure you're the very first one in all of history
Yes.
to do that. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure about that too. You can't prove it. It's not out there. I looked.
Won't do it. No balls. So I like how physics don't exist. That's pretty cool. Just kind of jumping on a huge muscly guy.
Well, I mean, you're also criticizing a game about bipedal crocodiles.
I mean, come on, bro. Bipedal crocodile's pretty badass, man. Like mini Godzillas.
Except, no lasers or radiation.
These bonus levels are a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Like
Piece of banana cake?
Ah, clever. I'm a
monkey references.
Because monkeys.
I've actually played enough of this game to know where just about everything is. So if it looks like I'm running through things, it's because I am. Like, I know exactly where to go. Do you have any games where you're like that?
I do, actually. Again, a big Zelda fan, so Ocarina of Time, of course. One of my all-time favorites.
Can you beat it in 5 minutes like some other people?
Not quite that far. But I can do most of the game pretty quickly with very little problem. I saw a video one time, and I still don't know if it was real or not, but it was a kid supposedly playing the game like blindfolded and facing away from the screen, and just like butt fucking the entire game. And I'm still kind of curious if it was legit and wondering if I can do it. Like, probably not, but
I couldn't play this blindfolded. Yeah, fuck that.
yeah, I mean, oddly enough, the worst part of Ocarina of Time for me is always trying to catch fish. How stupid is that? Like, I never get all the hearts because I hate playing the freaking fishing minigame.
That was one of my favorite mechanics about Twilight Princess, was adding the whole fishing competition type deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I think Twilight Princess really did better with it. Like, you could actually use bait and stuff. Like, if you used a sinking lure in Ocarina of Time, like, your fish was invalid. It didn't matter. And, like, by the time you get it, it doesn't even matter.
I think you meant Twilight Princess. You said Ocarina.
No, I mean Ocarina. The sinking lure.
Oh, they're sinking in Ocarina?
Yeah, you actually gotta get a certain size fish as a kid, and then it's hidden in the fishing spot. And if you use it, like, the guy at the desk knows, because magical fishing guy just knows stuff. And he says, "Oh, your fish doesn't matter. Use the sinking lure." And it's like, why? The time, like the size of the fish you need is like 10 pounds for a kid, like 15 for an adult, and that's when you get like the heart piece and the golden Zora scale, which are like the only reason to even play the games is for the heart pieces you get out of it, because you need the gold scale in order to get the heart piece from the old researcher out there in Lake Hylia. So it's like, why even bother with singing lure unless you want to get the Hylian Loach?
I'm pretty sure you know way more about Ocarina of Time than I do. I played through it once, the whole way through, and I haven't gone back to it. I don't regret the decision, but...
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I'm one of those guys that loves playing the Master Quest just because it's freaking ridiculous and insane. Like, how do you beat, a cow embedded in a whale you have to hit with a slingshot in order to progress through the normal dungeon? Like, it's just ridiculous. It's crazy. But, being able to catch grubs at random in Twilight Princess in order to fish, like, that's pretty cool. And, it just adds that little bit of realism that you wouldn't care if it wasn't there. But it just adds something goofy to the game. It makes you kind of think, oh yeah, stuff's kind of real. People could actually survive in this world. You can catch grubs and fish. Like, what up? We're not all rednecks that can get food out of a, get grubs out of a gas station and go fishing with them. It doesn't happen.
What's your favorite Zelda game?
My favorite Zelda game? Honestly, I might have to go with Majora's Mask on that one. Just because I'm that weird mopey guy that's like, I like dark games, dark stuff's awesome.
Yeah, darkness.
Darkness, praise Lord Satan. Anyway, but one of my favorite writers is H.P. Lovecraft. The Call of Cthulhu. Mountains of Madness. It's all about crazy dark shit, and people going batshit crazy and just like losing their goddamn minds. So a game that's everyone who's a Zelda fan or has heard a lot of game theories knows about the whole depression theory. The stages of grief, being the whole backstory and basis for Majora's Mask. And, there's all these horrible things behind it. And it's one of those weird things where there's always that impending doom over your head. Like most of the worlds, like Ocarina of Time, for instance, again one of the greatest games of all time, and I don't think I'm biased in saying that. But there's no rush to do anything. I mean, you can take 5 hours out of your day and go fish if you want to. There's no urgency. Majora's Mask is one of those few times where there is a time limit. Now, there's a way to get around it, but it's also one of those games where you really have to plan out, what you're gonna do next. It's kind of like a playthrough. You got to figure out, what am I getting, where am I going, who am I talking to, what kind of stuff am I picking up. It's one of those you got to get to the dungeon and then reset the 3-day limit and actually try to beat the dungeon.
Oh, I missed the end. Damn it.
Nah, you did. You're messing up.
I like the... I'm one of those guys that actually like Twilight Princess the best. I'm gonna save.
I mean, that's fair. It's also a great entry, and again, another dark one, so I can't really complain there. But it's one I think they could have done it a lot better. The whole Wolf Link thing was pretty cool, but barely 3 dungeons in, it didn't really matter anymore. And, it had a little bit of usage throughout, but it kind of got pushed to the side. Minus the spoilers, the main boss battle at the end. You kind of fight Ganon as Wolf Link, which was pretty cool and a good usage of it. But at the core of it, it's a pretty cool game. And again, it's another one where I like the whole mystical, magical side of the stories.
Probably my favorite thing about...
It was pretty heavy in there.
Twilight Princess is... Other than Majora's Mask, it's one of the only Zelda games that says, yes, I am a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time. Yeah. And it does that in like really subtle ways, but like that trainer, the zombie dude that trains Zelda.
The Golden Knight, who's supposed to be an ancient dead hero who's trying to pass his legacy down. If you follow the Zelda timeline theories and stuff, the concept is he is the hero of time. But just like Majora's Mask, it's the child timeline. It's when the end of Ocarina of Time, you go back in time as a kid and you try and stop Ganondorf before he ever gets the Triforce. So he gets locked away and they try to kill him. And that's where Majora's Mask picks up, and it's supposed to be young Link, with all of his experience from the actual game, but without it ever actually having happened because time travel and shit, whatever the hell that is. But also crocodiles and lava, how badass are they? Anyway.
Back to the game, you know.
Yeah, back to the
game that
to
we're
the
playing.
Point. Well, we're, but anyway, you know, and these giant mutant, big four-headed, fucking crocodiles. Anyway, but yeah, like, you know, it's an interesting game to go through with Majora's Mask, and then, you know, Twilight Princess. You're right, it is a direct sequel, and I like how, you know, as much as I like Xant's character and just batshit craziness of like, I'm gonna fuck up everything you've ever loved, you know. Honestly, the first time I played it, I felt like it was kind of a cheap lit down. That it turns out, oh yeah, the main villain is of course fucking Ganon, as it always is.
I don't know, I liked it.
Yeah, like in retrospect, after having played it a couple times, I'm like, I actually like it. But the first time, it was just kind of like, wow, you know, way to not actually give us a real villain. You know, it's just somebody's pawn the whole time. It's still the same dude. But, you know, by the time you actually fight Ganon, or, you know, Ganondorf, you know, it's actually really cool. You know, you still get to fight Xant again.
Yeah, you fight Xant. So that's still there.
Yeah, so you actually do, you know, you do beat the main villain. But I guess it's kind of like, you know, Link to the Past, where you fight a Ganon, and only to find out that he's just like a fucking avatar or pawn of Ganon. So I guess it's kind of the same thing. Like I said, Xant was just an interesting, unique character. He kind of reminded me of Vati, but like after Vati was already fucking crazy. You know, just pure mad wizard warlock bullshit.
What's Vati from?
He's from Four Swords and Minish Cap, which I actually liked Minish Cap. Weird as it was,
the reason why I asked, because there's another YouTuber that I subscribe to and I like, and he does a lot of lore videos for Dark Souls called Vati Vidya. And if anybody is listening here is interested in checking out his videos, I recommend it. Like his Prepare to Cry series is it's pretty good, in-depth look at, you know, the Dark Souls lore. But I thought his name came from Zelda, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Like Vati Vidya.
Yeah. Well, you know, Vadi's another one of those, you know, people have tried to suggest, you know, he has this bigger overarching story within the universe, but, you know, no one's ever actually, you know, proved that. So, you know, for anyone who hasn't played Skyward Sword yet, sorry, spoilers, turn your mic off. But, you know, we find out, you know, the Demon King you fight in Skyward Sword is actually the precursor to Ganon. You know, he's this badass king of all demons, and when you kill him, you know, he creates this huge cycle of hatred. You know, he essentially gives, you know, his evil and his anger a real physical manifestation that comes about in the form of Ganon. So it's kind of the background before the entire universe of Zelda, you know, is all based on that character. You know, that's where it all comes from. It's why the games exist in universe. So, you know, it kind of ruins those theories when people say, you know, all the Zelda games are just, you know, some kind of retelling of the same hero beating odds. It's just got mangled over the years, and we're playing these stories. Sometimes just a little bullshit. But, you know, it really establishes the games as a continuous timeline by saying, you know, it had a beginning. You know, people have suggested that Vati is the reincarnation of his right-hand man, Girahim, who turns out to be, again, spoilers, his own sword, his, like, Dark Master sword. You know, you have your companion in game 5, who everyone, like, seems to hate but me. I mean, she's annoying, but I didn't hate her. You know, Girahim kind of has some similar designs. So people have tried to say, you know, oh, you know, Girahim is his version of Fi, which makes sense. But then they also try to say that, you know, he has his own reincarnation in Vati, and I'm like, I think you're reaching there. I think they just kind of ended up looking alike.
I keep going back here because I'm pretty sure the DK coin is in this bonus level, which I think it's the only instance of a DK coin being in a bonus level area.
There you go.
I found it.
Hey.
I tell you one thing I love about the mine levels in this game.
All the cannons.
Wow, no, I mean that's fun, but no, actually, the music, the song, "Mining Melancholy," which is what plays in the background. Viewers of this video probably won't be able to hear it because I have the music turned down real low in order to, you know, be able to pick up our voices. But another thing I YouTubers, I really recommend you do look up Burning Idols version of Mining Melancholy. Absolutely beautiful. They do a instrumental, like guitar and drum cover of Mining Melancholy. Absolutely beautiful. I just wish I could have that talent. But instead I play video games and I upload my Let's Plays onto YouTube.
Yeah, and get your friends to sit here and rant about Zelda while you're playing a non-Zelda game. Yeah, Zelda's one of those things you can't bring it up with me or I'll talk about it for, 8 fucking days.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad I got you to come and comment because I'm trying to focus and you can just keep people entertained while I'm, fucking around.
I mean, assuming people like a ranty dickhead who just complains about video games. I mean, again, the Skyward Sword, a lot of people kind of hate on it, but I like it. It took a long time to get used to the sword mechanics, but the actual gameplay was pretty cool.
I just fucked that up.
Yeah, you did. Another thing, the time stones, for anyone who's played the game, there's these little rocks and switches and stuff you activate, and it, transforms the world into what it was thousands of years ago. So it turns a desert into like this glorious fucking garden.
That's in
Skyward Sword.
Oh really? I didn't make it that far. I didn't get bored. I just couldn't get into it, so I stopped playing. And I was excited for it. Like I bought it within the first couple months that it came out. I don't know. The controls really bothered me.
Yeah, like I said, it takes a lot to get used to it, but once you do, it's actually pretty fun. Like I got to the point where I was actually like a sword badass. I was just legitly cutting people down. But I wasn't swinging my sword 4,000 times when I didn't mean to. So I guess that's what I mean. I was actually able to swing it how I wanted it more often than not always. But it actually gave me the ability to enjoy the game because I could figure out what the hell I was doing. And a lot of the bosses eventually do require some pretty cool swordplay.
Well, the very first time you encounter Garahim in the forest, you have to lead his hand with your sword and then strike. That took me forever to do.
Oh yeah, the first time it took me 8 tries. I actually had to leave the temple, go get potions and shit, prepare for this basic fucking boss, and then come back. It was I was actually pissed off about how much preparation I needed to take out one guy who was still early off in the game. It legitimately pissed me off. Actually, funny enough, once you beat the game, like a lot of Zelda games, you get to play the hero mode. You get to play the game over, but with harder shit, and you get to keep a lot of your items and stuff like that. I got down to the earth for the first time and almost got taken out by a freaking Deku Baba, and I got through the remote. I was so pissed. For those of you who don't know, there's just little fucking plant things that are everywhere, and they're easy as shit. But damn thing almost killed me. I was furious. Went down half a heart. I was like, son of a bitch.
I'm gonna use Swanky here to.
Cheat.
Oh, I didn't get the DK coin for that. I'm really disappointed. I'm gonna save and quit. We're gonna wind down here. We're a little past my time. I forget, sometimes that you actually have to save this game because I own this on the Wii shop, and you can actually close out of your Wii and still have everything set up whenever you start it back up, which completely got rid of the purpose of saving. But anyway, guys, this is the first ever Throwback Thursday with Donkey Kong Country 2. I'll be uploading some more videos, maybe some more Donkey Kong later. And next week, maybe I'll delve into some Castlevania. We'll see.
Which one? Symphony of Night? Better be Symphony of Night. Don't be a puss.
Anyway, thanks for checking in. I'll see you guys in the future.